YouTube Live. I am so excited to do this today. I really wanted to do a live and come on here and meet all of you. And it is very rare for me to do a live. I've done lives in the past in Facebook, but never on here. So today's topic is postpartum weight loss and what I did and the top 5 things I did to lose 54 pounds. I'm gonna just, here we go, it's a little bright. There we go. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Linda Poirier of bodiesafterbabies.com. I help mummies all over the world to fit back into their jeans, get their sexy back, and find a life of happy. So I'm really excited for tonight, and I see a couple of you coming on, so welcome. And I do have a couple notes, so I will be referring to it. I'm not looking at my chest or anything. All right, so before I get started, I wanted to talk, or I have a little announcement to make. And on the community tab, I had mentioned of my husband doing a live training in April. He is a paramedic, and he's been a paramedic for 18 years. And he has a little side business, or a thriving business really, to help mummies and daddies how to do CPR on their kids. And it is a very vital lesson to learn, and it's life-changing, really, honestly, of course. And so we're going to sit down, and because of the wonderful response from everybody, I'm going to be setting something up in April, and I will put something in the community tab to find out what days or what times would work best for you. But we had almost 200 responses that they said, yes, we would love to have to do a CPR course. So he's offered to do that absolutely free, and I am so excited to have him on. He has really great reviews on it, and like I said, it's life-changing, so who wouldn't want to learn that, right? So I'm just checking, okay, I'm just gonna make sure every once in a while that I know what's going on and that people are in there. Feel free to chat and say hi, let me know where you're from, and we'll go from there. So, if you are, whether you're on the live stream or the replay, and you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe below and click on that notification bell, of course. And if you want me to do more lives like this, be sure to click the like button so that I know that you are actually interested and I can do more of these. Tuning in from the Cayman Islands, awesome. I've always wanted to go there. Nice to see you. I wish I had stronger contacts because it's hard to see a little bit, but that's awesome. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't done so, and click that like button so I know to do more of these. And also, if you have any questions or comments, comment below and say hi just like you did. That was awesome. All right, so a little bit about my story for my postpartum. Well, we'll back it up. I have 2 kids. One is 16 years old, boy, and I have a 4-year-old little boy. And both of my pregnancies, I would say was, I was pretty hefty. I gained 55 pounds with my first one and 54 pounds with my second one. And for those of you really who don't know me, I'm only 5 feet tall. So I started off at around that 100-pound mark, give or take, with both pregnancies, and then ended up gaining a lot. So 55 pounds and 54 pounds is quite a bit. Even just my 5 pounds on me, you can really notice. So the first one, my first pregnancy, I ended up actually going into premature labor at 23 weeks. It was one of those things that I thought, I'll grab a banana, go to the hospital, I should be fine, glass of water. And they're like, no, where are you going? You're in labor. So I ended up being on bed rest for the rest of the term, and I gained my majority of weight at the last few months. And then on my second pregnancy, which is actually 12 years later, I had gained another 54 pounds, but I had the same kind of thing at that 24-week mark. I ended up having labor pains, and I wasn't in labor like the first one, but it was showing signs of labor. So I ended up having to take it easy. And then again, I gained, 54 pounds. So, and it was, I gotta say, it was really awful because at that last little bit, I was literally sleeping in a chair for the last 2 months. And I don't know if you mommies out there can relate to that. Like, comment below and let me know, because I slept in a chair for 2 months, and I can't even say it was sleeping. It was just awful. And I was so big that I had a hard time laying down and sleeping because it was so heavy. It was like somebody was sitting on my chest. So it was not great. And yeah, so now when my son was born, he was only 6 pounds, 11 ounces. And it was, 6 pounds, 11 ounces, you figure, all right, you had the baby. Okay, it's 6 pounds, 11 ounces, plus the water weight, plus the placenta, plus the fluid. I should be good, like 10, 15 pounds, right? And then you get on the scale and you're not. So if you have any preggies out there and you are watching, please, please, please do not weigh yourself for a good 2 months after you have the baby, because it just sets yourself up for disaster. So, and looking on, yeah, Heidi, hi. Yeah, she says she also slept in a chair towards the end. Yeah, it is not good. Slept sitting up for 1 month, Ash says, gaining 54 pounds myself. So, okay, so you can relate, about these things. Don't weigh yourself on the scale. It's totally not fun. Wait 2 months, and then at least the scale should and will go down. All right, so now when I was back from the hospital, I had that 54 pounds on me. I was noticing things like, when you're pregnant, you notice you're tired all the time and huffing and that kind of thing. But with that 54 pounds on me, and now baby's out, I was still so winded going up the stairs. I was totally exhausted. And, you're naturally exhausted because you have a baby, but then you're also exhausted because you have those extra weight, right? Whether it's 10 pounds or 20 pounds or 60 pounds or more, it just bogs you down. And I was extremely tired. I was miserable. I had zero motivation. My anxiety was at an all-time high. And, it's one of those things where you look in the mirror and you're just crying. Here's your body. It's not recognizable. And, while you're pregnant, you have the nice little rounded belly, and after you have the baby, then it's just like, like a deflated balloon, right? And that was hard for me. And when it came for time for dates and that kind of thing to go with hubby, I would just dread it. Like, I wanted to go out on a date. It had been so long, but at the same time, I felt like first, let's talk about the clothes. Like, going into the closet and trying to pick something out to wear, I literally would cry for about 1 or 2 hours before the date, and then have to wipe it all off and wipe the makeup and start all over again. And what am I gonna wear? And I'm still in maternity clothes, and this is awful. So it just didn't fit. And it was one of those things where you wanted to wear the clothes you wanted to wear, not that you had to wear, right? So I would dread that. So that was, pretty much my postpartum experience that way. You rather stay at home in comfy pants and an oversized shirt, and reality hits when it's time to go out. So that was kind of my experience. And then I remember sitting one night, I was sitting on the couch and I was eating cookies. I was eating chocolate chip cookies, and they were gluten-free, of course. But I remember sitting there and just stuffing my face with cookies and thinking, well, I'm already fat, so might as well go for it, right? Just go to town. And I just, wash it down with misery and feel the guilt the next day. And that was a pretty big moment for me, that just sitting there, feeling sorry for myself in that regard, but it was tough. So how many of you can relate to this? All these little things of energy and no motivation and feeling like crap and looking in the mirror and just feeling blah. Like, how many of you? Just comment below, whether you're on this live stream or you're watching this replay. Let me know, and then we know we're all in it together, and I'm not the only one. stuffing my face with gluten-free. I have gluten-free cookies because I have to eat that, but they were good. All right, I have a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I'm still horribly misshapen. Yeah, I got your back, so we're good. The lack of energy is killing me. My baby just turned a year old, and I'm struggling with extreme fatigue. Yes, yes, yes. Lack of energy, lack of, I mean, of course, because you have a little one, and lack of energy, the nutrients, your body goes through crazy stuff, right? Like the first 9, well, for me it was 42 weeks, really, I was pregnant. And your hormones are a certain way, like you're going through pregnancy and they're revving up for pregnancy, and then all of a sudden you have a baby and they come crashing down and you're crying and all this other stuff, right? So energy is a huge one, and that was for me too. So here's the one thing, now that I can get back into the 5 things, I guess, that I stopped doing in order to lose my 54 pounds. And number 1 was to stop weighing myself every single day. I was making myself crazy because I would go on, you know, in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, oh, how about now? How about now? And that doesn't do any good. I mean, I felt worse. And a little tip, if you are going to a restaurant, don't weigh yourself the next morning. That's not good either, because most restaurants, their food have a lot of sodium. So you're going to carry a lot of sodium. You're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to step on that scale, and then you're going to be like, what? I gained 3 pounds. What's going on? So don't do that. But I did stop weighing myself every day. And instead what I did was every week I did weigh myself. But you step on the scale in the morning, no clothes, because we're like, you know, we'll take off every single thing we can, make sure our hair is dry so it doesn't weigh us down so we can go on the scale, right? And I check to see what we weigh. But do that, go to the bathroom first. No water, don't drink any water, and go on that scale. And then what I also do is measurements and pictures, because what happens is some weeks, and especially when you start exercising, you'll notice you may not budge the scale, but you're budging the inches. And I also do photos as well, because you can start to see maybe those inches aren't going and maybe the scale's not moving, but you're noticing it in the picture. So I do a triple whammy, and that works really, really well for me. But the scale every single day just makes you go cray cray, and yeah, just don't. Take it from me. It's awful, awful experience. And do it at the same time each day. If you are going to measure, I do recommend in the morning, do it in the morning at the same time, you know, not the same clothes. All right. Okay. So now that's that. Now I'm just going to check in on you guys, make sure. Sounds like me now, 4 months postpartum, Geraldine says. I'm losing a ton of hair. Do you have any tips or suggestions? I feel like I'm losing big bunches of hair a day. You know, I lost a little bit of hair, not really in clumps. I know a lot of women do. From my naturopath, she just said that's normal and it'll get back to normal. It's a hormone thing. I will check on for you, though, more into that, because I'm really not a guru in the hair department, but I'm going to find out for you. I'll do what I can to help. Okay, next. Number 2 is what I stopped doing to lose the 54 pounds is I stopped having junk food in front of my face. And that meant I'm a chocoholic. I absolutely love chocolate. And if I emotional eat, I'm running for the chocolate all the time. And when I'm not running for the chocolate because of emotional eating, I'm still running for the chocolate. And I had to stop bringing it into the house, because if I brought it into the house, you eat what you see. So if it's there and you're like, oh, I'm a little hungry, I'll go into the pantry or into the fridge, and you see chocolate, I'm going to eat the chocolate. And you may be a chip person if you like the salt. But so what I did is I didn't have it so that I'd actually have to go out of the house to go get it. And then that way it would make it harder for me to go get it, or I'd be too lazy or whatever, and then I wouldn't hurt myself. Or alternatively, what I did is I chose like a dark chocolate, so that way when I ate it, I only it a little bit. You got to kind of be a little bit, well, you got to identify what the issue is first, right? And then try and think of things that you can do. Like if you keep it out of the house, and I mean, your only option is to go reach for fruit or reach for, something else, and that's more likely what you're going to reach for. So you eat what you see. So that's what I did. Let me see. So awesome that you guys are in here. I love it. Make sure you hi too. Even if you don't have a question, I'd love to hear from you. I'm looking over at my computer because it fades on my phone, and I'm new to this, so bear with me. Okay. Edith says, do you recommend running for my split muscles in my stomach after birth? Or jogging? Well, here's the thing. A lot of women have issues with their diastasis, which is that ab split, and they have issues with incontinence, et cetera, and the jogging might not be the best thing or the most comfortable. Obviously, I don't know your medical history, but I would start with doing the diastasis recti exercises, closing the gap, seeing how you feel, and maybe go for a walk, go for a longer walk, a faster walk, turn it into a jog and see how you feel. Only you know what your background is and your history and how comfortable you are with it. So try it if you feel like you can, but you might not feel like that it's that comfortable. Okay, so make sure again to put any of your questions, whether it's on the live or the replay, and don't forget to hit that like button so that I know to do more of these. It's my first go. It's okay. All right. And now number 3 is I stopped bashing myself. And this is a huge biggie. I'm sure probably most women can relate to this. They might not admit it, but they do this, and it's bashing, right? And because my body changed so much in pregnancy and I felt so awful, I just would look at myself, and especially, coming out of the shower and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh, my stomach and my belly button, look at the loose skin and the stretch marks, and I'm so big. And I would look at myself and go, I literally don't recognize who's staring back at me. And that was really tough. My background, just a tidbit of my background is I used to do fitness competitions, and I think it was 6 or 7 back in my day. And I most related to that because I was just so crazy into health and fitness. But seeing this girl staring back at me at the 54 pounds, and I'm not sure if you saw the thumbnail before you came in, but my face was very round and everything was just round. And you're really round when your Italian mom and your Maltese dad's like, look how nice you look. Your face is so round. And now it's a problem. But I was bashing myself a lot, why can't I lose that weight? Look at that belly. And why do I look 6 months pregnant even though my son is 6 months? And it just kept going. And what I had to do was I had to stop the BS, because we can make so many things in our mind up and it just perpetuates, right? It's just that cycle that gets worse and worse and worse. And once we start, we can't stop. And that's one thing that will get in the way. I say this over and above nutrition, over and above fitness, is how you talk to yourself and that mindset or that talk. And so instead, what I did was I focused on what was positive about my body. So if I hated my stomach, then I am not looking at my stomach, right? I'm gonna be like, oh, my eyes look really nice today. I did my makeup really nice, and just something. But if I did catch myself say something negative, I had to flip it into the positive. And over time, you'll notice, try this tomorrow, even see what you say to yourself and you don't realize you're saying that to yourself. Okay, and another little trick though is if you grab like an elastic band or a ponytail holder or something, you have it on your wrist, as soon as you say something negative, like snap yourself. I learned that a long time ago, and it actually works pretty good. You just give a little snap on your wrist, and it reminds you to be like, nope, don't say that. I have one client that just about a month and a half ago, she said, Linda, oh my gosh, my weight's finally all losing, and the one thing that I really attribute it to is not talking negatively to myself anymore. And I said to her, well, you know, what do you find? Like, what's different? She just said, my confidence is so much more, and I couldn't believe just how much I was bashing myself. So that's a big one. All right, so if you're just coming in and you're tuning in, we are talking about the 5 things that I did or stopped doing to lose the 54 pounds. And the topic is on postpartum weight loss. So now number 4 is I stopped procrastinating until I found the perfect XYZ. So because I'm an all or nothing girl, and I had to learn not to be an all or nothing girl, it wasn't like, oh, I'll just wait till Monday till I have the perfect blah, blah, blah. I'll just wait till April 1st, May 1st, June 1st, until I found the perfect program, the perfect exercise, the perfect diet. You get the idea. And I got in my own way, right? Like, that's getting in your own way, because really, there is no perfect plan. What I did is little changes, right? You just start with little changes. And I think the biggest thing that I stopped doing is not having to do an hour-long workout or a 45-minute workout. I just really said, okay, now I tried. Let's back up. I tried a 45-minute workout at 55 pounds overweight, and my ego got in the way because I was like, yeah, I got this. I did this before. I used to do 2 hours. I used to do 1 hour, no problem, right? 5 minutes in, okay? 5 minutes in, it's like, oh, I think I might have a heart attack. I think I'm gonna get on your knees and you're sweating, and you look at the time, you're like 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So I had to get over myself really quick on that one. If you've tried that, like, let me know if you've actually done that too, because that was very eye-opening. So I scrapped that thought, because what happened with that is, because I couldn't do the whole thing, then I felt like I failed, and I felt like, well, I can't even get through the whole thing, so why even bother? And then what that does is it sends you on a spiral, right? So it sent me on a spiral, and it was that perfectionism that I had to finish this thing all or nothing. But instead what I did is I went to my phone, I downloaded an app, it was 10-minute HIIT workout, and I was like, look, I'm just 10 minutes. And 10 minutes is manageable, right? You have kids, life is busy. Sometimes we think we have an hour, we only have 10, but the 10 minutes is actually what started my weight to fall off. It wasn't the other, 45-minute workout, because it was just miserable. So 10 minutes is all it takes. And I started to see very, very, very quickly my weight go off. Now, you push yourself in that 10 minutes, but you don't push yourself that you're hurting. You just get it done. You feel great. Your mood is boosted, and away you go. So, but choose something that you are interested in. If you hate spinning, then don't go to a spin class, right? If you hate hot yoga, don't go to hot yoga. Don't push yourself to do something you don't want to do, because you're not going to keep going on it. You're just going to be like, no, this sucks. I'm not going to do it anymore. So if it's walking, start with walking, but start with that 10 minutes. Those little tiny habits will actually start to add up. Okay, so if you are just joining us, then say hi. Let me know where you're from. And also, if you're watching the replay too, because I like to hear where you guys are from, and I like to hear from you. All right, so yeah, choose something that you're interested in. So now number 5, and this is another big one, is I stop putting myself last. And big one, right? Big, big, big one. It's these little things that I was doing. And it's hard because we have kids and we have families, and, we got to attend to, homework and work and all these things, families do and kids do, and we always kind of put ourselves back on the back burner. And the next thing we know, it's these little tiny changes that we're not doing. And then the next thing you know, you haven't showered in 2 days and you're wearing yesterday's pajamas and your hair's in like a side ponytail, right? And oh, good. Hi, Edith. You're from Mexico. Yes, I've seen you. I've commented before. Yeah, you're actually a new subscriber. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Bodies After Babies. Awesome. Okay. And so, yeah, back on the back burner, right? And the next thing you know, things are slipping and we haven't combed our hair, or, we haven't taken care of ourselves. We haven't eaten all day, and it's just not good. Now, a lot of mummies, and I felt this way too, you get the mom guilt. But it's not selfish, because if we can't take care of ourselves, who the heck is going to take care of ourselves, right? And that took a long time for me to learn too once I had kids, because we think, oh, we're supposed to put everybody before ourselves, and in some aspects we do, but it's actually detrimental. And watching from, hi Brittany Miller. Miller's my maiden name. Awesome. Welcome. Maybe we're cousins. I'm crazy about ancestry too, so you never know. All right, so now that's what I did. Is I started to do little dates with myself, okay? And that doesn't mean like always having a bubble bath. This is, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go to the kitchen and I'm gonna fill up my water bottles for tomorrow. That's self-love. That's giving yourself a little bit of love, putting yourself first. I'm gonna go to the kitchen for 5 minutes and I'm gonna take my vitamins. You see what I mean? Like, just these little things is what helps a lot. They add up. Maybe I'm gonna lay my clothes out for tomorrow, or my workout, or print out my workout, or yeah, those things, right? So if we don't take care of ourselves, like I said, who will? And a saying that really got to me was this, and I used to say, I don't have time, and we feel like we don't have time, but Oprah has 24 hours and she gets stuff done. So if Oprah can do it, we can do it, right? I always said, I don't have time. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to take care of myself. I don't have time. I don't. But instead of doing that, this is what I want you to say. Next time you say, I don't have time, you replace it with, I'm not a priority. Oh, I'm not a priority to do that. Oh, I'm not a priority. This was huge for me, huge for me, where I thought, oh my gosh, this got to me inside with, it was easy to say I don't have time and we feel like it, but when I said I'm not a priority, like, that is almost my number one thing. And it's still hard sometimes for me to go, nope, I gotta take care of myself, because I love my YouTube channel, I love my kids, I love my husband, I love, but I don't sometimes love myself to go do that. So it's like, no, you gotta go, right? And could you imagine saying to your kids, sorry, honey, I don't have time to change your diaper. Sorry, kids, I don't have time to give you food. Sorry. But we say that to ourselves, right? So, yeah. And so now it's to the comments again. Ash says, how do you cope with tiredness and fatigue? I work full-time and come home to care for a baby. Okay. I've been in both situations. So I'm a work-at-home mom, and I was a working mom. But the tiredness, there's a few things. Number one is nutrition. What you're putting into your body, the whole point of food is not chocolate, even though we want chocolate. But the point of food is to give you nutrients, give you vitamins, give you minerals, give you that energy. And if you think of it like fuel, that will help a lot. People underestimate the power of food and how it affects us. So a lot of moms will just eat like the toast crusts off the kids' plate, and that's their breakfast, and they'll wash it down with coffee, and then away they go. But some of the things that I do use shakes. That helps a lot, and it holds all the vitamins and minerals. I take vitamins, I watch, and I guess you learn also how your body responds. Like, I feel like crap after eating X, Y, Z. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. What fuels me up? And it'll take some time, but that's one thing you can do is nutrition. Exercising, even though it feels counterintuitive, like, oh, I'm going to be tired from working out, but if you do a little bit of the workout, you will get that energy. Water gives you energy, even though you're like, well, what? Water gives you energy. Drink, 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 drink. When you're dehydrated, you're tired. And mindset too. Have you ever, woke up in the morning and you stub your toe and the rest of the day is just crappy? It's the same thing. If you think negative things, those will bog you down. Or if you have that girl that's like da 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 da, and you're hearing negative all day, that's also gonna bog you down. I know some of these sound a little bit crazy, but I do have a video on energy, and I can link it in the comments below later. And yeah, definitely, Ash, you work out twice a week. Yeah, increase your water intake and get your butt to bed by 10:30. There's things called adrenal glands in your body. They're responsible for a whole whack of hormones, all your hormones. And sometimes people who are stressed out, overtired, they get taxed, and you'll get that kind of crash, but you'll get a second wind after 10:30, and then you're like, woo, I can go all night, and then you're bagged all the next day. So try and get your butt to 10:30. I always say that in my videos. And now let's see what else here. Oh, Pauline, you're a new subscriber from Toronto, Canadian. Yay, hi. Okay. Yeah, 10:30 works really, really good. I do notice, I get that. I'm one of those people, I had some extreme adrenal fatigue years ago, and I still have to be very, very mindful. If I have a couple late nights, I will drag myself, but 10:30 is magic. And then do all those little things. Up your water. Half of your weight in ounces, you'll feel really, really good. So what do you think of what you heard today? Let me know in the comments if you're getting some value out of it, whether you're in this live stream or in the replay. I would love to know. That way I know to do another live or not. I'm a rookie, but there's always a first, and I try and help mummies as much as possible. This is a complete passion of mine. I love, love, love helping mums, and I love the topic of nutrition and weight loss, and I mean, I could do it all day. 90 videos and I can still keep going. Yes, great advice, and can definitely relate to your experiences, so thank you, Ash. I really do think that if we keep it simple and not go crazy on all these fad diets and all these things, but still, I mean, there's products to help and there's things to help you, but if you really just dial it back, because really we know, right? We know some of the things. I mean, some things that people honestly don't know, but we know certain things that we shouldn't really binge on, right? Or, maybe tomorrow I'll drink a little extra water and not so much pop or soda in the States. Pop. And these little things add up to big things. Now, do you have any questions for me? Woo, I did that in 33 minutes, you guys. That's actually a record for me, because when I film my videos, I literally have like 30, 40 minutes. It turns down to a 5-minute video. Yeah, lots of conversation. Oh, Minnesota says pop. That people think, if they don't know I'm Canadian, they think I'm from Minnesota. Also North Dakota too, I think, but a lot of Minnesota. And yeah, no, this is awesome. I'm going to do a lot more lives, and I really want to connect with you and start chatting. I want it more of a community. I love doing videos. The only one I don't get from it is I can't have these interactions, right? So it'd be great to do this. Now, let me know too, would you rather have like a mini training like I did, or mini tips and then a chat, or do you want also one that's an exclusive hangout where we just kind of chit chat and on a Sunday or Sunday night or something, and we could do that too. I really would like to get to know all of you. I'm at something like 12,500 subscribers, which is, I'm so thankful for. It's been an awesome journey, and it's been so neat to see that I might touch even 1% of those lives to help. But I really want to meet them, you know? But when you think of 12,500 people in a room, that's absolutely mind-blowing to me. And that's not all the people that even watch. So if I can help somebody, or 2 or 3 or 100, then I would love to. And Heidi, people think I'm from Canada too, and I'm originally from North Dakota. I've been there. I went to a band camp. Oh my gosh, I was 13 years old. We went to a band camp in Minot. I think it was Minot, North Dakota. That was crazy. It was like army barracks, and you couldn't run on the grass because they would like tweet on the whistle, like, get off the grass. And you're bunking with like 50 women. It was like 50 girls, right? Teenagers. Oh my, she says I lived in Minot. Ha, there you go. And yeah, we went by train. So I have a twin brother, and we went by train, like band camp, and I used to play the saxophone and vocal, jazz, and choir and all this other stuff. I was very musical growing up. And so we went all the way across from Western Canada. I grew up in BC. I live in Alberta now. So if you're, you know, like, wait, how are you looking at this? Like British Columbia, then Alberta. So I was from here all the way over. We went down south to Spokane and then all the way over to North Dakota. So it was crazy. And yeah, it was an experience. It was really good though. Brittany says, these are awesome reminders for me, and realizing that I am really saying that I am not a priority when I stall taking care of myself. I'll start telling myself, oh, I appreciate your positivity. Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful that you are here. And I really hope that this helps. Try it this week. I mean, some people think it sounds so woo-woo, but really it helps immensely. I can't even tell you, when you make that little switch in your mind, you start feeling better. You start getting energy. You start being more positive. And yeah, it's a big thing. Not taking care of yourself is a big thing. Some days I still need the reminder, but I'm doing it. Yeah, so North Dakota, that's funny. I forgot all about that, and here it is. All right, thank you so much for watching. Let me know, you guys are already letting me know that you do like these lives. I would love to come back on here again, and we will do it again.